Hey everybody, it's Adrian Chenault from Contact Mapping, and I am so glad you decided to join us today for this webinar. We have Sean Murphy, who is one of my favorite people in the world and is also somebody who has enormous expertise, enormous value, and somebody that I just learn from every time I'm around him, not just because of what he says, but because his energy just has a contagious way of being around him that you rise to Sean's level of energy and love every time I'm around him. Sean is a veteran of the network marketing industry. He's been in this profession for 18 years. He's done it on the corporate side, he's done it on the consultant side, and he has been extremely successful on the field side. And we will talk a little bit more about this later on, but he is also the MC of the Association of Network Marketing Professionals annual convention in Dallas, which is 1 week from today. On May 30th, it starts in Dallas, Texas, and you have got to be there. Even if you have just heard about this for the first time, if you're in network marketing, go on Southwest, book yourself a ticket, you got to be there. So we'll talk about that here a little bit more later. But Sean, thank you so much for being with us today.
Adrian, I got to tell you, first of all, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all that got you to this point, all the decisions, all the goods, the bads, the not so goods, the what do I do with my life kind of decisions that you had, because right now what you're doing with Contact Mapping is changing the world. You've already been on a global tour. People are amazed with it. So I just want to make sure that you hear from my heart, thank you for what you're doing.
Oh man, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it. And when we started thinking about wanting to put together some of these webinars and put together a series like this, which we'll be doing one of these about once a month, Sean was the first person we called to do this because number one, he's just so dang nice. But number two, he's somebody that I think really resonates with what we are doing. And I think he's somebody that you are all going to learn a lot from today. So the title of our webinar today is the key components for turning your thoughts into profitable outcomes for your business, which is kind of a mouthful. I'm going to have to talk to the marketing team about that. But let's break that down. So what Sean has really done exceptionally well is he has mastered the power of mindset, and he has turned that into a huge amount of success, not only in his own life, but he has really done it through enabling others to be successful as well. And so we're going to unpack that step by step, and we're going to make it really practical for you guys today. So we're going to talk about how your mindset contributes to your success. We're going to talk about how you can take stock of what your mindset is like today so you know where you currently are. We're going to talk about how you can channel your mindset into your business. And then as Sean is living proof, we're going to talk about how your thoughts ultimately become your profits in your business. So we're going to take that step by step. And so just to start us off, Sean, I want to ask you a question and just kind of think about this from somebody who might be newer to this whole journey than you are. You know, why is it so important to be paying attention to our mindset? Why does mindset even matter?
The brain looks for two things. One, it looks for a pattern. The first thing it looks for is, will it kill me? Literally. If something dropped right now behind you that you didn't expect, the sign behind you falls down. It's never fallen down before. You would instantly turn around and go, what was that? Now you would instantly be able to reference it and do all of this and then recognize the pattern. That's the sound of a sign falling. Here's the reality. The brain looks for two things. Will it kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? The reason that we need to be aware of what it does is we operate as a machine. We operate with batteries. Food is our battery. So therefore, we have to be at the optimal performance. And so the brain uses 20% of our energy. And what it says is that I can't afford to think of anything new. It's why people get started. It's why people can remember faces, but they can't remember names because they're too busy trying to remember all of the things about you visually that they can't remember the auditory and the mental. There is no pattern, but I can do face recognition. That's why everybody says, I can remember your face, but I can't remember your name, because 20% of your body's energy is used to run your body. It's not used to create new ideas and new dreams. So your thoughts do create your income. The challenge is you have to be aware of what is coming into your life to produce your income you're currently having. Because congratulations, where you're at, it's your fault.
That's really good. And I think that awareness piece is so big, right? Because I think it's really easy to go through life not not behaving and realizing that it is our fault, however well it's going or however not well it's going, and being able to start to recognize those patterns of thought, to be able to recognize that that happened and I got weird, or whatever is going on inside, in between these two ears. There is so much power there that if we're not paying attention, we have no chance. Once we start paying attention, that starts giving us the ability to do something about it. And so if somebody is, again, kind of new to this and they're going, okay, like, I think I understand, but I wouldn't even know where to start, or I don't know if I have a good mindset or a bad mindset. What kind of questions should someone start to ask themselves in order to kind of take the temperature on where they are today?
We get involved in this personal development industry called MLM, Me Loving More. If you're in traditional business, if you're in customer business, it's about mindset acquisition. We have to be able to acquire somebody's mindset in order for our business to grow. Doesn't matter the industry you're in. How do we find out whether we have a good mindset or a bad mindset? Look at your current desire. When you go to sleep at night, can you sleep at night? That's a bad mindset if you can't. Do you wake up going, I need more of this, I need more of that? That's a poor mindset. Yeah, but I'm working hard. Why? To have more? That's a mindset. So what do you do? Here's a couple of questions you might ask yourself. Is if this is all I could do, is this all I want? It's not that it's bad or good. It's only a reference point. We have to start with a reference point that says, where am I? Because in the moment you decide where you are, you can begin to make changes. Here's what you really want to ask yourself. In the last week, how much new came into your life? If you woke up, Joe Dispenza says, if you woke up this morning, got out of the same side of your bed, and you walked to the bathroom to go to the same way that you go to the bathroom, and you went to the bathroom the same way, and you washed your face the same way, what new has happened in your life? Here's the challenge. Nothing fails like success. What got you to today won't take you through to tomorrow. So it's not about a poor or bad. It's about what do you know the difference between familiar and new? Because new is where you're shooting for. New is where you're wanting to go. What new is this webinar right now? If we haven't met, I'm all new. And here's the challenge. Some of you are going, this guy's way over the top. I can't handle this. There's no way this guy has ever made a penny doing anything. How could? Or some of you are going, God, he's got my attention. What's doing? This is all new. The question is what do you do with new? Contact mapping allows you to have all kinds of new, and it reminds you of the new on a daily basis. What do you do with that? There's people who get reminders on a daily basis and don't fill in the blanks. So ask yourself, is what I have all that I want? Am I capable of more? Is this what I'm capable of? Am I in a state of love with me? And if the answers to those aren't what you want, those are the changes that we need to talk about.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so true. I mean, I think would I really be, if this is all there is, would I be happy is such a big question, because I think, that's the ultimate gut check of, are you living your life in the place that you want to be living in? And again, there's no judgment. There's no statement that if the answer to that question is no, which for a very high proportion of the world's population, that answer is no, if we're honest with ourselves. So that's not it doesn't say something bad about you, but knowing that gives you the power and the freedom to do something about it. And that's what this is about. And so let's say, as I listen to your questions, I'm kind of, feeling that churning in my stomach, or that spinning in my head going, yeah, he's right. I've got a lot of things that are not where I want them today, and probably some patterns of my own thinking that have gotten me stuck in this place that I am today. How should someone get started on that journey of starting to change and shift that mindset, Sean?
Well, here's the first thing. One of the things that I do when I mentor people is we got to start with the possible. We're dreaming of the impossible, but we got to start with the possible. Here's the very simplest thing you can do. Say thank you as many times as you can today. What do you mean? Wherever you go, say thank you. Here's why. Because if this is all about, if you understand the power of the brain, listen to this statistic. Your life has been filled with a myriad of experiences. You want to know how much of your brain has been used to create that? 2%. 2 to 3% is what science shows. The other 97% runs your autonomic nervous system, your digestion, everything else. So if you're looking to build your business, take yourself to the next level, you can only operate with 2% of your brain, 3% of your brain. It is a freaking math problem why we fail. So here's what we do. How do we hack this? Everybody wants a mind hack, a life hack. Here it is. It's so simple. It's 2 words. Thank you. See, in order for you to say thank you, your mind has to presuppose that the decision of something that came good into your life happened, and you're gracing somebody, you're saying thank you for something good that came into your life. It is a mind hack that will change your day. If you can do 20, 30, 40 thank yous a day, you won't recognize yourself in a week. Oh, that doesn't work. My mentor would say, you're right, I'm rich, let's move on.
I love that. Well, and I mean, talk about a costless, easy experiment. If you say, I don't believe that, or I can't believe that, what does it cost you to try it?
Right? Henry Ford said, think you can, either way, you're right.
Exactly. But that, I mean, that's an amazing, and it's so powerful. I have young kids. We walk them to school every day, which is in its own right the biggest blessing in the world. That's my favorite part of the day, is getting to walk my children to school every morning. But it was not my favorite morning that I have ever had with my kids today. And I came around the corner towards the school, and I'm just mad, and I'm just in this bad mood. And I looked around, and we've had a few cloudy days, which doesn't happen that often in Colorado. And I looked up, and the sky was blue, and I just went, I just got to be thankful. And I was thankful for that sunshine. And I was thankful for some cute little thing that the kids did as we're walking to school. And my whole day changed in that moment. And it really, I'm not always as good about doing that as I should be, and as present to how quickly you can change your outlook on the dime. But it happened, it was amazing how my day shifted around that moment, and where I actually caught myself and recognized it. So I'm telling you guys, this stuff really matters, and it really works. So if it's hard for you to believe, just suspend your disbelief and give it a try, because it costs you nothing. We're not selling you something. We're not, this is for you, but I promise you it works.
So Adrian, I'm going to throw this little note out. Tomorrow morning when you go to walk the kids to school, I want you to thank them twice. Thank them for the chance to walk them to school, and thank them for having walked them to school. Yeah. That's it. Just add those in there, and it'll change your state forever.
Totally. So we're starting to make this shift. We're practicing these processes of saying thank you more, being more mindful. And I would guess you're going to tell me that that's automatically going to start to show up in my business. But how, if I'm in business, especially if I'm in business for myself as a solopreneur, whether that's in network marketing or real estate, or, we have a very diverse audience here, but how can I be intentional about applying those same mindset principles to my business?
Be aware of addiction to approval. Let me explain. I coach people all around the globe. I have a network marketing business. I coach people all around the globe. CEOs, CMOs, traditional business, non-traditional business. And the first thing I ask them is, listen carefully. This is going to blow. This is going to just, you're going to like shudder when you hear this. As you become more successful, as you start to begin to reach the goals you are, I'm talking to you, the listener, the watcher of this right now, who's going to be jealous of your success? At a subconscious level, there are going to be people who are jealous of your success. If your goal, one of your goals is to get healthier, and you lose 50 pounds, 20 pounds, 10 pounds, you're going to look better. You're going to feel better. There will be people who will be jealous of it. Why? Not because they don't want you to succeed. It's because you didn't prepare them for the new story they have to tell. So here's what I'm going to encourage you. As you go on this journey, as you start to say thank you more and more, and you become more lighthearted, you become more, as Brene Brown would say, more wholehearted, you become more vulnerable, you start to share things in a way you haven't shared before. People are not going to be prepared for your story, so therefore they will do the theory of the crab. We know that we put one crab in a bucket and tries to get out and then can't. We put another one in, it tries to get out. The first one tries to pull it back down. This is called jealousy. This is called you can't do it. This is what's called I'm afraid to step out because somebody's going to tell me I'm not good enough. Be prepared for it. If you know that story is coming, and when you see it, you can now giggle when you see it happen. We've all had it happen to us. So as you begin to be more grateful in your life, people around you may not be more grateful. Be prepared to tell them the story. I'm on a mission to take care of me and my family. I'm not asking you to change anything in your life, but I'm required to change. So with your permission, or without your permission, I'm going to go take care of me and my family, if that's okay with you. Have a story to stand strong. Ray Higdon talks about it all the time. Posture.
Yeah.
We need to be strong. Your dad talks about it all the time. He's the biggest goofball in the world, one of the most brilliant sly foxes in the world. He has this posture. Posture doesn't mean you have to talk down to somebody. Posture means you can lift them up when they're ready, but you have to make sure you're looking up all the time as well.
Totally right. Totally right. And I love Ray. Ray has people, when you get a hater that somebody's trying to, that claw comes up and they're trying to pull you down, there's a private group and people post this in there, and it's like, we celebrate that you're doing something big enough that you're going to get a hater now. And so, playing bigger, that's going to come along the way. And so being prepared for that and actually using that as a marker, not in an arrogant way, because you have to stay humble, but using that as a marker that if somebody is criticizing you for something that's just not true, that's actually a sign you're doing something right, and that you should double down and keep moving instead of letting that pull you back to where you've been before is a huge deal. So
yeah, when that hater shows up, just do this. Aw, bless her heart.
There it is. That's the Southern man's way of doing it, right? Bless you.
Bless your feet big and hard.
All right. So Sean, I want you to actually use this question as a platform to share your story a little bit, because I think you embody this. So Sean's mantra in his books, in his coaching, and everything that he does, it's called Mental Profits. And he really has taken these principles that he's talking to you about and implemented them in his life to create success, to create profit in his own world. And so I want you to talk about that journey and then help us apply it for these listeners to be able to see how that could happen for them too.
Mental profits, your thoughts create your income. And income has very little to do with money, but it does have everything to do with what comes into your life. There's a system in the brain called the reticular activating system. Ladies, if you're watching this right now, have you ever asked your husband to look for something in the kitchen and they open the drawer and they go, it's not in there. And you go, I just put it in there. And they can't see it. And you walk over, open the drawer, and magically it appears. It's called the reticular activating system. The reason that I put a lot of science behind this is because I was so drawn to all of this, and I lucked into it by experience. But I had to validate it and back it up with science, so people can't just go, well, you're a high school, 0.9 grade point average high school student, barely made it through high school, drove by a lot of colleges. You have no degree to teach me about the brain. I don't. I just have thousands and thousands of hours of experience. So mental profits, your thoughts create your income. What's coming into your life right now? See, when I was 14 years old and my brother was outed by a buddy he brought home from high school, and my family wanted my brother dead. His name changed and threw him out of the family. He'd pack his stuff and get out. It was the most challenging 3 days of my family's life, of my life at 14 years old. And I decided to never have another bad day. I didn't know what that meant, but I chose to not be around negativity at all at any moment in my life from then. I couldn't totally avoid it, but I decided I'm going to be in charge of this. And if I'm in charge of this, I know it gets controlled by the heart. So that was my journey. That's where I started. Get involved in network marketing. First year, $80,000 in debt. Not a good way to start your business. That's not mental profits. Well, the reason that I failed so much is because I did it the way they said to do it. And they, when I find them, I'm going to choke them. But when they said to do it that way, they said, just put them on the product. See, the challenge with our profession of me loving more is that you can love more people, but never know how it works. And you get compensated for people when they get healthy. You still may not understand the motivational drive behind people. So my first year, $80,000 in debt, I went back to what I know how to do, take care of people. And I did very well. And for the last 18 years, I've done very well in the industry, from distributors to corporate executives, vice president of sales of North America, Europe, stood on stage in 30 plus countries, been translated into over 40 languages. Yeah, I know that, and 25 cents gets you a cup of coffee. But what it has done is given me a worldly experience of what this challenge is of being able to communicate with people on a one-on-one level or 1-on-1,000 level when you're in front of an audience, and make sure you're speaking to their heart, because that's where they're listening to you from. If they're coming to sit down with you, is they're afraid to ask for help. But the challenge is all too often we never set the stage. We never ask people, hey, the boundaries you currently have, are they flexible? Are you able to reposition your boundaries? And your boundaries are, can I do something new, or am I stuck where I'm at? Do you have a flexible mindset, or is it a rigid mindset? See, I sit down with people and I ask them 3 simple questions. I'll ask you, the listener, right now. What Adrian is doing and what this entire organization is doing, let me ask you a question. Do we have your permission to help? See, in that statement alone, what I realized is that I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but how many of us would agree? A good buddy of mine, Scott Schilling, says, how many of us would agree we don't know what we don't know? The challenge is that maybe I know, maybe Adrian knows something that you want to know. The hard part for you to swallow that, for you to take the new from the familiar, the new we have to offer, is it requires you to accept help. All too often, that's a difficult thing. So why not set the stage? Do I have your permission to help? Now, the other challenge is, Larry Thompson would say, if you want something new, you're going to have to do something different. Different is uncomfortable. So the second question I would ask you is, do we have your permission to make you a little bit uncomfortable? When you download the app for the 30-day trial, there's no investment on your part. So maybe it's difficult to plug into it and to add into it and put some names in there. But I promise you, if your phone got wiped away and that was the last thing on there, you'd become so proficient at it, it'd be scary. But the uncomfortableness would go away. See, there's 2 days you've had enough. What I learned in my life is the day my dad died, the day my mom died. Did I say goodbye enough? Did I say hello enough? Did I say I love you enough? See, there's 2 days in your life that you'll have had enough. It's the day the universe hands it to you, smacks it right in front of you. It's the car accident. It's the grandfather who has the heart attack from smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day. Or it's the same grandfather smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day, and it's the day you decide you've had enough. You've been uncomfortable for long enough, and the granddaughter hugs his leg and says, Papa, don't die, and he puts down the cigarettes. Where are you? And the third one is what I promise you, what Adrian, myself, and all of this community will do is that, do we have your permission to take you out of that uncomfortable feeling? Because see, too many people want to reside in that pain. That becomes their story. That becomes their t-shirt. Shoulda, coulda, woulda club. You don't deserve that anymore. The only reason that you're staying stuck there is because somebody told you that story. Who are the words that you're using to tell your story? Who gave those to you? It's time to change that. That'd be my suggestion. That's how I became Mental Profits. That's where the thought of my thoughts create my income. If I don't have mentors pouring into me through books and tapes and audios and Facebook Lives, if I spend 1 minute watching something that's negative, kind of starts you back over at zero, because the patterns in our life find that. Why not find, if you want to worry about something, how many of you worry? If you want to worry about something, worry about being too rich, too healthy, and too many friends. Put that in your bonnet and smoke it. And watch your brain just go, what do you mean too many friends? Yeah, what if you had too many friends? You couldn't love them all. Change the way you look at things, Dr. Wayne Dyer said, and the things you look at change.
100% true. 100% true. So, Sean, you are amazing, number one, but you are going to be emceeing this event called the Association.
Yes, in just a week.
Professionals, and it's 1 week from today, you guys. It's in Dallas, Texas, right in the middle of the country. It's so easy. It doesn't matter where you live in the USA. It is easy for you to get there. And I am telling you, if for no other reason than to get more of this man, Sean, let alone the 50 plus other speakers that are going to be blowing you away from the stage, you need to be at this event. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to ANMP2019.com, and I want you to get yourself a ticket, and I want you to get yourself to Dallas for this event, because it's going to blow you away. But the second thing is, Sean, I would imagine you have created a bunch of new fans from this little webinar alone. And so if people want to get more of Sean Murphy in their lives, where should they go and find you?
So a couple of things. One, Sean Murphy, SeanGMurphy.com, SeanGMurphy.com. You can go there, get on the list. I don't hound people with stuff. Don't have a whole bunch of stuff, but find me on Facebook, find my lives, follow me on Facebook. Send me a message. If you're watching this and something triggered inside of you and you said, God, if I could only talk to him, do that. It'll shock you that I'll actually respond. Why? Because too many people will listen to this and they'll say, you know, this is awesome. Too many people will download contact mapping and go, I've got it. Take that next step. I encourage you, reach out to me. Use the program that's called contact mapping. Get acclimated with new, because new is what will change your life. So that's how you find me, SeanGMurphy.com, Facebook. Let's have a conversation. Let's make the world better. My mission in life is to be a better dad, better husband. How do I do that? Making sure more smiles are in the world. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you guys, this is no joke. Reach out to Sean. You won't regret it, because he is a wonderful soul. He cares so much about people. And Sean, I can't thank you enough for doing this with us today. I really think you gave some valuable insight to our viewers. And so thank you so much, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all. Listen, remember this. There's no one better than you, but you're becoming the best you possible. I'll see you at the next event.
All right, buddy. I will see you in 1 week in Dallas, Texas. Bye-bye.